Suzi Quatro, born Susan K. Quatro on June 3, 1950, in Detroit, Michigan, was surrounded by music from the very beginning. Her father, Art Quatro, was a musician, and the household hummed with rhythm, melody, and encouragement. From her earliest memories, Suzi felt the pull of music, exploring instruments and harmonies with a natural curiosity. That early exposure shaped not only her talents, but her sense of confidence, a quiet assurance that she could carve her own path in the world of sound. By her teenage years, she had already begun performing in earnest, forming an all-girl garage band with her sisters called the Pleasure Seekers. The group was groundbreaking in its own right, one of the first all-female rock bands to emerge at a time when women were rarely seen as instrumentalists or band leaders. Suzi played bass, sang, and carried herself with a charisma beyond her years, hinting at the stage presence she would later become known for worldwide. Breaking barriers in rock. The early 1970s brought a pivotal change when British producer Mickey Most discovered Suzi. Recognizing her originality, he encouraged her to relocate to the United Kingdom, a bold choice that would define her career. In the UK, audiences embraced her immediately, while American markets were slower to catch on. In 1973, her breakthrough arrived with the hit single Can the Can, a driving rock anthem that soared to #1 in the UK and sold over 2 million copies worldwide. With it, Suzi Quatro announced herself not just as a performer, but as a fearless rock artist who demanded attention and respect. The song's success solidified her image as a leather-clad rocker, a woman who could hold a stage with authority and charisma, proving that women could thrive in rock without compromise. Throughout the 1970s, Suzi continued to dominate, producing hits such as 48 Crash, Devilgate Drive, and The Wild One. These songs showcased her signature combination of powerful vocals, driving bass lines, and defiant attitude. On stage, clad in her trademark leather jumpsuit, she embodied confidence and independence, challenging industry stereotypes about women in music. Suzi was not a novelty act or background figure. She commanded respect as a musician, earning a place among the era's most influential rock stars and paving the way for artists like Joan Jett, Debbie Harry, Chrissie Hynde, and the Runaways. Her influence extended beyond her music. It was cultural, opening doors for generations of women who saw in her a model of what was possible. Crossing over into television. In addition to music, Suzi Quatro proved her versatility by stepping into acting. In the mid-1970s, American audiences met her as Leather Tuscadero on the hit sitcom Happy Days. The role allowed her to showcase her charisma and charm in a new medium while staying true to her rock and roll identity. It gave her broader recognition in the US, demonstrating that she was more than a singer. She was a multi-dimensional entertainer who could bridge the worlds of music and television without losing her edge. Legacy and influence. Suzi's impact on rock extends far beyond her chart success. She became a direct inspiration for countless female musicians who followed, from the raw energy of Joan Jett to the punk attitude of Debbie Harry. Her courage, style, and determination gave other women permission to pursue careers in genres dominated by men, reshaping the sound and image of rock music for decades. Even today, Suzi Quatro's influence is felt in the confidence and boldness of female rock performers worldwide. Lifelong passion for music. Decades into her career, Suzi has never stopped performing or creating. Albums like Back to the Drive, 2006, and No Control, 2019, demonstrate that her energy and musicality remain undimmed. On stage, her presence is electric, her vocals carrying the same power and edge that first captivated audiences in the 1970s. She has embraced new platforms, including radio, with programs like Rocking with Suzi Q on BBC Radio 2, where she shares her encyclopedic knowledge of rock history and personal anecdotes with listeners. Later, she launched Wake Up Little Suzi, another program filled with energy, authenticity, and the stories behind the music. Through these shows, Suzi became not just a performer, but a storyteller and guide, bringing generations of music to life while inspiring a new audience with her passion. Personal life and family. In 1976, at the height of her early career, Suzi married her longtime guitarist and collaborator, Len Tuckey. Their union was both personal and professional, blending shared passion for music with a deep mutual understanding of the demands of life on tour. Together, they raised 2 children and managed the challenge of balancing parenthood with international fame. In 1980, the couple purchased a manor house near Chelmsford, Essex, which became a sanctuary where Suzi could nurture both family and music. Despite their shared devotion, their marriage ended in divorce in 1992, after 16 years together. Suzi remained in the manor with her children, preserving a sense of continuity and home for her family. Shortly after, in 1993, Suzi remarried, this time to German concert promoter Rainer Haas. His understanding of the music industry provided both companionship and support, and together they continued to build a life that balanced her career with family priorities. By 2006, her daughter and grandchild returned to live in the Essex Manor, restoring the sense of home that Suzi cherished, though they eventually moved out again, leaving her to navigate the quiet challenges of an empty nest. She maintained residences in Essex and Hamburg, Germany, while keeping close ties to Detroit, reflecting the truly international nature of her life and career. Collaboration with Chris Norman. Among the many highlights of Suzi Quatro's career, her collaboration with Chris Norman stands out. Their 1978 duet, "Stumblin'in," remains a timeless classic. At the time, neither expected it to achieve worldwide success. "We both thought it would just be another song," Suzi explained, "maybe a minor hit if we were lucky." Instead, the track soared to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a song still celebrated today. Suzi recalls working with Norman as effortless. "Chris was one of the easiest people I ever worked with. There was no ego, just warmth and collaboration. From the first moment, there was a natural chemistry. We weren't competing, we were creating something together, and that's why it worked." Their connection, she emphasizes, was professional and platonic, built on mutual respect and a shared love for music. Both were married at the time, and their friendship became the foundation for a recording that has lasted nearly half a century. Even today, Suzi and Chris remain friends, occasionally reconnecting for interviews and anniversary celebrations. "When we see each other now, it's like no time has passed," she said. "We slip right back into that easy camaraderie from the studio. That's rare, and I treasure it." "Stumblin'in" is more than a chart success for Suzi. It's a reminder of the joy and creative magic that happens when artists connect authentically. Reflection and resilience. Looking back on her life, Suzi Quatro sees a journey defined not only by success, but by resilience. She broke barriers as a woman in rock, maintained a career spanning 5 decades, and nurtured a family while continuing to create music that inspires. She has embraced change, whether through moving internationally, navigating personal relationships, or exploring new mediums like radio. She has balanced public performance with private life, cultivating spaces where her art and family can thrive simultaneously. Even at 75, Suzi continues to perform, record, and inspire. Her legacy is not just in leather jumpsuits or thunderous bass lines, it's in the cultural and musical doors she opened, the confidence she instilled in other women, and the joy she continues to bring to fans around the world. Reflecting on her career, she says, "I will always be the leather-clad rocker with the bass guitar. But for millions of people, I'll also always be the voice on that duet with Chris. And I don't mind that. I'm proud of it. It showed another side of me, softer, more vulnerable, but still strong." Continuing influence. Suzi Quatro's story demonstrates that true influence extends beyond charts and awards. It lives in inspiration, in mentorship, in opening possibilities for others, and in showing that longevity in music comes from passion, dedication, and authenticity. Her work in radio, her continued touring, and her connections with new audiences underscore that music is not just what she does, it's who she is. As she moves through the later chapters of her life and career, Suzi reflects with gratitude and warmth. She honors the moments that shaped her, from the pleasure seekers to stumblin'in, from Essex Manor to the global stage. She celebrates her collaborations, her family, and the lasting friendships that have enriched her journey. At 75, Suzi Quatro remains a pioneering figure, a beloved performer, and an enduring example of resilience, creativity, and joy in rock and roll.